we should have everybody here talk about. I'm going to go through this very briefly. We have a lot of students here, so we some have questions that we'll maybe address. We actually have two programs, and in the Civil Engineering Environmental Science Department, one is results in an MS, your Master's in Engineering. The other is a Master of Science in Environmental Science. Both programs are 30 units. Within the Civil Engineering program, we have two options, a Water Resources concentration and Environmental Engineering concentrations. But students can select from their electives, and we'll go more through how the program is set up from each concentration, so you can kind of wind up pretty easily with a blend or a hybrid, which is kind of what I am. And what most agencies and most consultants, when you're looking at a water resource person, those companies tend to do both water and wastewater treatment, water quality studies, water resources, and so having a hybrid is quite useful. But you can focus, or you can develop the hybrid. We have a thesis option. It's optional. We don't have a capstone project. We do have a comprehensive oral exam for those that don't take the thesis option. You would sign up for the comprehensive oral exam. And if you were doing the thesis option, you would sign up for a thesis defense. So we substitute the thesis defense for the oral comprehensive exam. As with the other programs, as Gustavo has discussed, we do have a dual degree program, MS in Civil Engineering and an MBA. If you achieve both degrees at graduation, you'll go up and get your degree twice, one for civil engineering and one for the MBA. Quite an honor. And we do have a number of certificate programs. They're 9 units each. Again, if you're not real sure you want to commit to a master's program, maybe you want to just try it out, focus your education and your experience, and then you can always transfer those courses to your master's program. As we said, we have the various programs. Our admission requirements are that you need to have a class in general chemistry. Doesn't need to have the lab, but at least you need to know something about general inorganic chemistry. If you've had organic chemistry too, you're going to be a leg up. It's not required, but certainly very beneficial. Environmental engineering and environmental science. We need to have mathematics through 1 year of college for the engineering degree. If you're going to convert your environmental science degree to an engineering degree, which about half of our students do, then you're going to need 1 year of college calculus. But if you're going to stay as an environmental scientist, 1 term of mathematics and calc is required. And then we would require some life and physical sciences, again, totaling at least 4 college level courses, which could include biology, chemistry, environmental science, ecology, physics, etc. Our programs are set up that they have core classes, which are required classes. We have a set of technical electives from which you can choose 2 or 3 or 4. It varies a little bit with the program. And then we have global perspective electives, which you will need 1 or 2 again, depending on the type of program. And depending on how you set your technical electives, and that's what I was saying, you can work out a hybrid, because you can take the core, for instance, environmental engineering or environmental science, and then take your technical electives in water resources, for example. And most of our programs can be completed in 1 year if you're not working full time. But generally, most students take 2 years to complete. Okay. We do have some independent studies as elective classes, whereas an opportunity to investigate a particular topic of interest, maybe something you're doing at work, typically a maximum of 3 units per course. And you're going to want to need to find a faculty member to help guide you through this. It's your program, but you will need some guidance and directions. We do allow you to take courses in other programs as elective classes. We find, for instance, a lot of our students, the project management class is very helpful to them, and they take it. Some take some of the mechanical engineering classes they might be interested in. But anyway, to do it, it's a matter of working with the directors and come to see Dr. Powell or me for your civil engineering program or environmental science program, and then we'll work with the other director of the other program for you to make sure that it's okay. Generally, it's not a problem unless for some reason you don't have one of the requirements for the course with your background, but generally not a problem. The thesis option can count up to 6 units, typically 2 semesters, fall and spring, and some students will usually include the summer semester. We don't like to have you start right away. We want to get to have you take at least a year's worth of courses before you do your research. Topics are identified by you, the student, or it could be a faculty member. And then you and the faculty member will work to form a committee. It's pretty true of all of the thesis programs or the thesis options in the other programs are pretty much the same. And this would replace up to 2 3-unit elective classes. And so you'll still have to complete the course requirements and complete a total of 30 units, including the thesis units. Sorry about the phone, but I got my home phone in here. Nobody's answering the damn thing. Environmental science students can change to civil engineering prior to graduation by taking and passing the Fundamentals of Engineering exam, which is administered by the NCEES. You meet the core and technical requirements and global perspectives for that particular focus. You have to be careful with that. Complete a college level calculus before graduation. And as I say, we get about half the students to do this. Some of them have actually wound up and passed their professional civil engineering exam, so they can call themselves a professional engineer, which in civil engineering is quite important. And it does open up a much broader career path for you if you're at all interested in it, but it's up to you. Why study at LMU? Well, we have modern and professionally relevant courses that focus on sustainability and taught by both distinguished faculty in academia, and we have a number of professionals from industry that come and teach some of the very specialized courses. They're offered in the evening. Students are exposed to a balance of perhaps the latest advances and innovations, both in practice and research. Our graduates are provided with enhanced career opportunities, shortened path into management and leadership positions, and increased salaries. We have small class sizes, fosters a very collaborative community environment. That's what our students say when they come here from larger schools as undergrads. They come here and they find out how collaborative, first of all, their other colleagues are, but also the faculty members. So it becomes a really personalized experience. Our programs benefit, as I say, from a mix of professional scientists and engineers who are working, and along with students performing research toward their master's thesis. And students have a flexibility to customize their study plan to meet their goals. So we're really flexible. If there's something you want to do, we'll work with you to try to see if we can achieve that. We have a number of testimonials. These are from some of our students that have moved on. They've been out of class now, look, 10, 11, 9 years, 10 years. And so they're still very successful. Anyway, I'm here to answer any questions, but I think we'd like to move this on to Dr. Syed.